Once that countdown concludes, you'll be in your next go open qualifying play. You need to reset your pins, just hit the white button on the ball return. It does not trip the score. All right, guys. Good luck and nice score.
And with that, good morning, everyone. Welcome into the first squad, A squad qualifying here from the 2026 New Mexico Open. My name is Mike Flanagan. I'll be your host throughout this event as we get ready to go into our very first ball of competition going down the lanes. I want to bring up the oil pattern here because it's a very demanding pattern. It is 47 feet in length, 35.15 milliliters of oil, 1.89 to 1 lane conditioner, and you've got the Kegel current oil being put down on the lanes. Very, very demanding here, very low scoring. Using current oil here, we've got a plethora of folks here to put on this year's New Mexico Open, including proprietor Mike Flanagan. You just heard regional manager Rob Bellag. And we've got General Manager Anthony Albrecht here, and Dennis Hacker is our tournament director here at the 2026 edition, 22nd year for the New Mexico Open. You take a look at this oil pattern. As I mentioned, you've got speed bumps out there. It's going to play very, very slick. You'll see a lot of surface out there. And most of the players should be playing towards the right. That's the optimal way to the pocket, but there are multiple ways to get there. Some players will play towards the middle part of the lane because it is a longer oil pattern. So very, very possible you'll see some folks around the track, 15 to 10 area, but you really can't swing it very much. But you'll see most everybody else playing the outside part of the lane. Let's go ahead and take a look at our schedule here so you guys know what we got going on here this weekend. Today is Thursday, and it's an 8 a.m. squad. We welcome all of our viewers in throughout the country and throughout the world watching bowling here this morning. 6 games of qualifying today, right now at 8 a.m. We are on Mountain Time Zone. We'll be back at 1 o'clock with your B squad, 8-1. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday, depending on how many entries we get, we may do 2 advancers round with a step ladder, but those times will remain the same. So we may have 1 less round on Sunday depending on the amount of participants we get here this year. We could be making a schedule alteration, but for right now, that is our schedule for the weekend. Head back over to full screen, and we got Joseph Patterson, Steve Ontiveros, Raymond Archuleta, Edward Herrera, and Trent Irwin. Got lanes 17 through 20 for you here at Tenpins More. Once again, we are in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. This event was started by the Mackey family, and this is the 22nd edition. Last year, our champ was Dallas Leong. Francois Lavoie won the 2 years prior to that, and some other highly decorated names that have won, including Jacob Buttriff. And on Saturday, we're going to do a special tribute to Jacob Buttriff, so we invite you to join us for that last qualifying squad. Once again, Mike Flanagan here with you for Game 1. We got 6 games of qualifying for you. Should go fairly quick. Should be a couple of hours of bowling here this morning as we're just getting started with our first squad. A couple other unique things about this bowling tournament is that women and seniors, 55 and plus on the senior side, receive 8 pins of handicap each game. It's a Euro format. There's also $5,000 in guaranteed Smart Youth Scholarship funds for top youth finishers, which is really cool. And you may have noticed we're bowling and contesting this tournament on string pins. Brunswick string pins were put in just after the tournament last year. And it'll be my first time streaming an event on string pins, but watched a little bit of practice yesterday. And I really didn't see a whole lot of difference for my first just at a glance of the string pins. I do also have this other pair over here. We're not using lanes 23 and 24. Originally, we were going to use them, so I had set up, but I'll be making some adjustments to get some more lanes for everybody out there. As we take a look at Steve Ontiveros. We'll head over here. We've got Zach Harvey, Jacob Gill, and Nico Baccaccini over here on lanes 21 and 22. Also got Lane Talk stats working for you here today. So if you head over to lanetalkstats.com and you type in 10 pins and more, you'll be able to see everybody on the squad and keep an eye on the scoring this morning. I'll tell you the other players we have on the squad. We have 14 this morning. We got Andrew Romero, Austin Grammer, Charles Bostic, Christopher Sanders, Dantes Young, Jeremiah Yarmello. We've also got Joseph Patterson, Steve Ontiveros, who we were watching. Of course, this group here on 21 and 22, plus the other group we were watching as well, Raymond Archuleta, Edward Herrera, and Trent Irwin. So those are our bowlers here this morning. So we've got 6 of them here for you in our first game of qualifying. Players will be moving one lane or one pair to the right after each game. And we're glad you're with us here today. How's everybody doing in our chat room? Want to say hello to those that are checking in today. Power Core D Fresh, Scott V. How you guys doing? Doing well. I'm doing well. Yeah, Fagan's been updating some social media here this morning. I'd like to take a second to also thank all of our great sponsors that put this tournament on. We want to thank our friends over at Brunswick, sending Rick Barbera out here. Of course, Brunswick. We got the Brunswick Sync scoring here along with the Brunswick string pin setters. We want to thank Shamrock Foods, our local food supplier here. We want to thank Visit Rio Rancho. Visit Rio Rancho. Also want to thank Kegel. Of course, Tenpins More, donating the lineage from this event here this weekend. And also us here at Inside Bowling. And don't forget, everybody, you can save 15% over at Inside Bowling with coupon code YouTube off of all of our merchandise. And this week, we have a deal of the week every single week. And after we see this 10-pin attempt, we'll pop that up on the screen for you. This week, our special is quarter zips. All of our quarter zips are $37 this week, August 26th through September the 1st. And we run a deal of the week every single week. So there you have it. There is our deal of the week. Appreciate everybody that does support our channel here. All right. Go back over here, Steve Ontiveros. I wonder what game he's looking to bowl. Oh, wait, maybe it's 300. I do love that jersey. We got some nice jerseys here this morning. Got a little bit of everything. We've got, if you look at Edward Herrera too long, you might actually get hypnotized. We've got the New Mexico jersey. Nice New Mexico looking jersey here for Raymond. And then we got Steve here with his 300 jersey. Just getting started here. The high on the squad will automatically advance to the finals. Each winner of each squad on Thursday and Friday are guaranteed into the finals. If you were to look at the bowlers on the squad, who's the chalk? Who's the person on this squad that you would anticipate getting that number one spot? Is Austin Grammer. He won last week here on Inside Bowling at the Springfield Greater Ozark Doubles Tournament. Looking to go back to back here. Had a chance to watch Steve Klimpkin bowl some bowl on this pattern last night, throwing some practice, using high-end balls with a lot of surface, ASIMs, nice and slow, just rolling it up, about 3-4. Had some nice shape to it. As I mentioned, Austin Grammer, our winner last week at the Greater Ozarks Double Shootout with his partner Tyler Gromovitz. Getting the work done last weekend. We've been streaming a bunch of tournaments here on Inside Bowling. I know a lot of you have been along for the ride with us across all these different events that we've had. Our next event will be off next weekend, but then back at it again. We'll be at Maple Lanes in Waterloo, Iowa for the Ebonite Fall Classic. And then we'll be off for about a month. DV8 Nightmare Doubles at Central Bowl in Hot Springs, Arkansas. That's October 10th and 11th. Then the following weekend we'll be in Las Vegas for the Agent Ong Open, August 15th through the 18th. And then we'll be out at Ron Moore's Senior Shootout and Super Senior Shootouts, taking place November 10th through the 17th. And then we'll finish up the year with Hammer Holiday Doubles in Fairview Heights, Illinois, December 10th through the 13th. Last weekend we were in Springfield. The weekend before we were in Dubuque for the 11thframe.com Open. Weekend before that we were in Moncks Corner, South Carolina for the Ironman. Weekend before that we were with Dennis Hacker down at West Park Lanes in Cape Girardeau for the Missouri USBC Masters in Queens. And the weekend before that we were at the Desert Heat Doubles in Lakeview Lanes in Sun City, Arizona. And the week before that we kicked everything off with the Spa City Open. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weekends in a row. This is our 7th weekend in a row. And it would have been 9 total, but Gary Beck's event, the Mega Match Play Madness, was canceled. Be a nice opportunity to get a break. I'm sorry that he had to cancel his event. Not enough participation, but Gary's working on some things, so we wish him all the best. Glad you're with us here today. Inside Bowling, A-Squad qualifying, 2026 New Mexico Open. That's the right idea on what you want to do here, but you either got to have a little more hand or a little softer speed. It's really important for the players to get it right into the lane. You want to just get it touching the lane and getting into a roll as quick as possible. Going to see a lot of players going light here. You know, the power game and the speed game is the modern game, but here speed kills. Just every shot going light. It takes a while to adjust to it. That's why it is a re-entry tournament. Do accept re-entries in this one right here. We'll probably see some of those. Got some heavy hitters that'll be coming into bowl this weekend. Stu Williams will be into bowl. I mentioned Steve Klimpkin. You can never count out SK. Chris Barnes is in town and will be bowling, according to what he said yesterday. He's going to bowl tomorrow. But you never know. He could show up today as well. So Chris is probably watching this morning, staying about 30 minutes away with a friend, which is always a good thing, being able to come out and see a friend and bowl a tournament. Have a good chance to win this thing. We got the Lucky Larson Masters taking place overseas. So some of the players that have participated in this event in years past are actually traveling overseas. So this is a great tournament for youth players to still have the opportunity to come out and bowl. $5,000 in smart scholarships available in addition to the prize fund here. And then we've also got we've got the 8 pins of handicap for women and the 8 pins of handicap for those that are 55 and over. And I know there's some really good 55 and over bowlers up this morning, having some coffee, watching a little bowling today. You can still get here. Come on out and bowl. Bring your spare game. This is not a strike contest here. As you can see up on our screen, we have 1 strike across 6 players. How often can you say that? As a matter of fact, because these players are struggling a bit, I think it's time for us to move over a pair, Take a look and see how these players are doing. A little bit better. We got Jacob here. He's got something figured out, 4 in a row. Jacob over here on lane 22. Let's see what Jake's doing. Zach's got a double up on the board. Nico had a double early. Looks like he got that one just a little bit wide. Like coming out here in New Mexico. This is my 2nd year in a row coming out to the New Mexico Open, and it's nice to see some familiar faces. Anytime I travel west of the Rockies, it's always great to come out west and see the players. We have a nice following out here. We're Midwest based, but I love to see and showcase the bowling talent out west. A little odd to be streaming on a Thursday this early in the morning. Squad times are at 8 and 1 each day, as I went over on the schedule a little while ago. Let's see what Nico can do here. As you can see, he's just keeping it right in front of him, going right up the lane, not swinging it at all. Oil pattern is tough. I'm going to go check our live scoring, see how some of the other players are doing. Austin Grammer started with 215. Charles Bostic can still bowl 204. I'm going to go ask our tournament director, Dennis Hacker, and our special guest, Brunswick product specialist Rick Barbera, here on hand. I'm going to go ask the boys something regarding the youth bowlers. I've covered Charles Bostic before. I didn't know if he was still youth or not. Showing my age. I just wanted to walk over and ask the tournament team over there whether or not Bostic was still youth. He's not. The only youth we have here this morning participating for SMART scholarship money, and once again, there's $5,000 guaranteed in youth scholarship SMART money. It's this young man right here, Nico Baccaccini. Good to see him out here. It's going to be a great experience for Nico. Last year, I remember when we made the cut, we had a youth bowler, we had a senior bowler, we had Adrian, our female bowler. We had a wide variety. We had two-handers, we had one-handed bowlers, we had higher rev rates, we had lower rev rates, we had Anthony Simonson versus Dallas Leong in the championship match, which, you know, that's quite a bit of style there. You got the traditional one-hander, doesn't really do much to it, and then you've got Anthony Simonson, you know, one of the best in the world at throwing it two-handed. So this pattern, just a little bit of a variation from last year. It was adjusted due to the oil conditioner being used. Last year it was fire oil. This year the oil is current oil on the lanes. So the current oil makes a big difference regarding how it plays on these on this AMF lane surface. A little bit higher friction surface compared to the Brunswick lane surface, as many of you know. Again, the players move one pair to the right. Nico finishes with 161. We had 185 there for Zach, and Jacob, after having a four-bagger in the middle of the game, still 3 opens. Best he can bowl is 197. Ethan is going to bowl on Saturday morning. Thanks for having me. Thanks for watching. We say thanks to having you come Saturday morning. RB says, string, sorry guys, I'm out. Don't want to bull on them nor watch it. Well, we're sorry that you don't want to hang out with us. Different strokes for different folks, but I'm actually excited to get a feel for strings here this weekend. This is our first string pin event. So 185, 161, 176. And let's move over. $178 for Steve Ontiveros. And we left Edward Herrera, and he found something. He can still bowl 221. Archuleta is going to be low score here. Trent as well. I think we all love Raymond Archuleta's jersey, though. Eddie Joe saying the strings don't matter. It's the pattern you have to defeat. Yeah. I mean, strings are what they are, right? I mean, I watched yesterday quite a bit and didn't really notice too much craziness. It's actually harder to strike, I think. I'm going to actually zoom in on this camera angle a little bit. I'm going to bring us in a little bit closer. Let's do something like this. There we go. Crossover for a 6-pin. So this is a good start, though. Spare striking bowl 200. Let me know where you're watching from, everybody. Just type it in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from here this morning. And maybe also tell me what you're doing. Are you at work? Are you working from home? Are you retired? Are you skipping school? What is it that you're doing here today? Just like that, we are done with game number 1. Game number 2 coming into scene. Dantes Young and Jeremiah Yaramillo. And Joseph Patterson and Steve Ontiveros just moving one pair to the right. Your tournament leader after game 1 is going to be Austin Grammer with 215. 215 after game number 1. He has started with spare double over on lanes 13 and 14. Again, we do have live scoring here today for you, courtesy of Lane Talk. Let's see if we can get 200 game here. This game on our live stream pairs. They are tough, folks. I mean, this is really one of those tournaments where you got to bring your spare game. You really got to bring it. I do want to go for a rip. Thanks for asking. Thank you, Matthew. It's great to be out here streaming these events every weekend with you. It's been a nice run. We got upstate New York watching, Omaha, Nebraska. Mr. Scott, he's 5 minutes from Tenpins, currently drinking my morning coffee and starting to stretch. Oh, I love that. Bryson's got an off day today. Blake Wallstrom's got me on while he's out working today. Simo, I don't believe is bowling this year. I should text him, see if he wants to come out. Greg in the chat says he's from Albuquerque. He bowls with some of these guys on the regular. This is a real test. Those of you that are just getting here, I'd be more than happy to show you that lane pattern again. Be more than happy to do that for you. Let's go ahead and pop that up again. Here's your lane pattern, 47 feet in length, 1.89 to 1 ratio. A lot of mills, 35.15. 1.89 to 1. This pattern really doesn't favor any sort of style. A lot of the build of this pattern is very similar to what we used to run with the IB Open tournaments, except the speed bump is more extreme on this one here. If you look at the forward loads data and you look at entry number 9, 4 2-2s from 22 to 32 feet. That is 10 feet of gutter-to-gutter oil applied further down the lane. That's what makes the ball not hook. 22 to 32 feet. And then it buffs at a really low speed to 47. The machine moves at 10 speed, 14 speed, 18 speed, 22 speed, 26 speed, and 30 speed. So having that machine travel at just 14 speed is almost turtle pace, and 18 is not that fast. So it's applying the oil very thick in that zone. And then on the way back, you know, it just kind of builds up, but you still have 2 more 2-2s on the way back from 22 to 15 feet. So it's tough. This is about as hard as it gets right here. About as hard as it gets. Scores. Thank you. Now we're as always, we're always trying to figure out how we're gonna get you guys the scores. And Rick Barbera just came over and let me know that he sent me over the scores 1 minute ago. So I can do that. Let me get this set up for the first time here, and then we'll be ready to rock. Capture right there. There we go. Pretty easy to keep track of here with a opening squad here, just getting going here at this year's event. Let's see what this looks like. Give this a shot. There we go. New Mexico Open. There's your scores. Austin Grammer with 215. Charles Bostic with 204. Edward Herrera with 199. Christopher Sanders had 185. Zach Harvey had 185 as well. Steve Ontiveros with 178. Jacob Gill with 176. Jacob Jaramillo in 8th at 167. And you had a mixed bag below there. Nico, Dantes, Trent, Andrew, Joseph, and Raymond. Appreciate Rick getting me the score so quickly. We'll go back over to full screen here. 17, 18, 19, and 20. Dantes Young, Jeremiah Yarmillo. We've got Joseph Patterson and Steve Ontiveros. Ontiveros I've covered for quite a while. I've seen him bowl a lot of events out west. Saw him down in Las Vegas a couple times. He's a good player. So about 20 minutes a game, 25 minutes a game. Got 6 games for you here this morning. We'll be back at 1 o'clock with our B squad qualifying. So we'll have action for you today for a little over 4 hours of bowling. Do it again tomorrow. This is a very unique event. I mean, I'm just going to be frank for a second, and I don't understand why more people wouldn't just absolutely be booking their flight to come out here to New Mexico for this. I mean, the bowling center is donating the lineage. It's a great payout. It's a demanding, challenging condition. Doesn't favor any style. And if you're over 55 or you are a female player, you actually get handicap, 8 pins a game. And if you're a youth player, there's $5,000 in guaranteed smart money. Everything that Mike Flanagan has done to put on this event and set up the structure is a great reason to come bowl. And, you know, we've got squad Saturday, so if you can get here and you're watching right now, it's worth coming out. I mean, it really is. And our format on Sundays is quite interesting. When we come back, and again, it's based off of the amount of bowlers that we have, but if we get a full field, we'll have qualifiers 17 through 32 will bowl 6 games, and in the top 8 will advance. And then the next group of qualifiers, 9 through 16, join, and they bowl 6 games and the top 8 advance. And then qualifiers 1 through 8 join, they bowl 6 games and the top 4 advance to a step ladder. Depending on entries, that may vary a little bit. We may skip a round in there. We may just start with 24 or 16 and then cut and then have one more round and then that step ladder. But hopefully we can have all the rounds. You know, hopefully we get a bunch of walk-ins. I remember last year on Saturday morning, we had about 10 entries signed up and we had 33 walk-ins. So if you do plan on bowling, it is nice to let the tournament staff here know that you're coming. especially with having to put all the names in and be able to have it switch lanes and everything. That's very convenient for us. You know, it lets Rick and Dennis and Mike have a better opportunity to know what's going on. So if you plan on coming, make sure you let us know. By the way, we got some scores next door. I'm moving right. I'm going right over here. When I say we got some scores, we got some doubles, everybody, up on the board. Maybe it's this pair. Maybe this is just a good pair, lanes 21 and 22, huh? Pajama, whenever you tune into our broadcast, let you know on the bottom right of the screen of how many bowlers or how many games we have. We're in game 2 of 6 currently. I will let Rob know to get a fresh pot of coffee rolling. He's got the coffee rolling today. He has done that. Again, the optimal way to play this pattern, if you can do it, is to play outside up near the gutter. But this is one of those tournaments where you got to do the 3 things correctly. You got to release it the same way twice. You got to hit your target consistently. And you got to throw a soft speed. That's pretty decent. 6 wraps around the 10. Not a bad shot there by Trent. 9 spare, double, bad shot. 9 spare, strike, 9. That's working your way around the pocket. Again, it's grind out here. How many bowlers are needed for a unique field? I believe. That's an interesting hit over on 19. By Ontiveros. You know, that's a good question. I believe it would be 32 times 4. So 128 unique bowlers. I believe that's the correct answer. Do want to thank our friends at Lane Talk and Brunswick for being able to put together the live scoring here this week and the Lane Talk graphics that we use here. Archuleta throwing it to 3, 4, 6, 7. That is one thing too, with as much oil that is on the lanes, when you go left to right at your spares, it's very easy to have your ball, when it goes to hit the spare, to be 2 or 3 boards to the right of where it is on a normal way that you shoot your spares, just because of the amount of oil and how much more your ball pushes or glides through the oil. Players have to make adjustments. We saw that at the 11th Frame Open a few weeks ago when we were up in Dubuque, Iowa. Again, glad you're with us here this morning, tuning into the 2026 New Mexico Open. Again, we got Mike Fagans, our proprietor here. We want to thank Anthony, our general manager, Rob, our regional manager, and of course we got the best tournament staff in the business. We got Dennis Hacker running the event, USBC president. He's He's our guy here this week, and we got Rick Barbera, our special guest, Brunswick product specialist, making sure that all the scoring's coming through good. And I've worked with Rick over the years at events, and it's just, you get that peace of mind. You just feel great when Rick Barbera is around, and we do appreciate him being here. That was one of those string hits there. Leaves the 1-8 actually. Had the 2 with it. The old 1-8. All right, Trent, let's pick it up. Pick 'em up. What movie's that from, everybody? '22nd edition for the New Mexico Open. Shout out to Steve Mackey and the Mackey family for starting this event years ago when they sold the bowling center. Mike Flanagan said, we got to keep this thing rolling. We got to keep her going. He's made some adjustments to it, trying to enhance and attract more bowlers. Got to hand it to him for doing that. Make sure my replay is working, so let's watch that again. Oh, does not cover the spare. Archuletta's first shot. Watch this one. A little high flusher. Trip of the 4. Had 2 games over 200 in game number 1, 215 for Austin Grammer. Charles Bostic had 204 on our 14-player squad this morning. Archuleta finishes with 187. A nice finish there. Next door, Steve Ontiveros is going to be in the 150s with a spare conversion. Does make it. Edward with a pocket hit there. 6 goes around the 10. Best he can do is get into the 160s. We're going to roll into game 3 next door right here. Charles Bostic, Christopher Sanders coming into scene. Full solid 9 there for Steve. Bulls 150. Joseph Patterson had 129. Low scoring here today, folks. Bring your spare game. Very demanding. Terry in the chat says, I could have entered this, but I will keep my money. What do you mean, Terry? Come on here, make some spares, bud. Get yourself a check. We got Grammer over on 15 and 16. As you guys know, I just get rolling here. Got some other things I'll be bringing into to the stream here this weekend. Just getting started here today. We've got A squad, B squad, C squad, D squad, E squad, F squad. Bunch of qualifying squads for you here. How's everything looking? Coming through nice and clear for you guys today? Everything looking good on your devices? I always wonder about that on our first stream. We're streaming in 4K here today. Just want to make sure everything's looking good on your end. Good. All right, guys. Appreciate that. I've been getting a little bit of buzz here recently as well, because last weekend I announced that 3 years from now, when I turn 50, I'm going to reduce the amount of live streams that I do. Nice shot there by Charles, by the way. How about that? We're gonna watch that again. And then I'll get back to my point. Watch this. Had a messenger get in front of it. 6 leans into the 10. I like it. I like the pen action. But yeah, I was talking a little bit about how you can't do this forever. You just can't. And it doesn't mean I'm going to go away and I won't be streaming events. But, 7 weekends in a row, stuff like that, I will be cutting back in 3 years. So I announced last week my semi-retirement. And some people really thought that was like, I was just going away. Now, when I mean semi-retirement, it just means stream less events. You'll see a little less of me. But I am throwing that out there because I am looking for someone that would be willing to be a one-man band and be able to do the technical side, the announcing side, and work at these events to be able to do so. So if you know of anybody, send them my way, mike@insidebowling.com. You got to love bowling. It's got to be a labor of love, and you got to be willing to put in long hours. But I hope the brand can continue with streaming many more events, but I can't do them all, unfortunately. And a lot of people have been reaching out to me too, like, Mike, what can we do? We don't want to see you go. It's not that I'm going anywhere. It's just I'm just going to reduce my amount of these that I go out and do. Dan Patrick is somebody that it's been a big influence on my life, just in general. He's really kind of been a soundtrack to sports for me. When he was on SportsCenter, of course, the DP show. It's one of the podcasts I listen to on a regular basis, and he announces his retirement 3 years out, and I'm going to be 47 next week, and I figure we'll give it three more solid, hard years, and then gonna cut back a little bit. This journey's been awesome, though. I mean, to be bringing you these tournaments for over 10 years, 14 years or so, 15 years. I mean, it'll be about an 18-year run when we get to the end. And it won't be the end, but you know what I mean. And I do appreciate you all. No question. Scheduling a couple more streams here. I didn't get them all scheduled before I left. Putting together our Saturday streams right now, getting them on our YouTube channel. Go. E-squad has been added. Bostic comes in light on that one. How do players like bowling with string pins? I mean, I haven't asked them, but they're here. I appreciate you, William, by the way. I appreciate that. How about that spare for Christopher Sanders? Old Sando out there getting a mark. And look, I know the scores are low, but you got to hand it to these bowlers for just chewing up and coming out here and giving this a go. And again, multiple squads you can re-enter. 10,000 on top. Let's see what Bostic does on this one. Yep, just got it too right, too quick. Looks like he had a little bit of a footing issue there. That's the old Norm Duke there. Whenever you don't strike, you always got a footing issue. Not saying Norm didn't ever have a footing issue, but it's funny. Tommy Jones and Stu Williams did some really funny commentary. It's probably going on close to 10 years now, where they were they were commenting when Norm was bowling. I think he missed a 10-pin, and then Tommy said that'll never happen again. And he left another 10-pin, and he goes, "Watch this. Norm's going to double tap it with the ball, where you hit the pin when you hit it, and then it hits the pin again in the pit." And it was a cool moment. I think it was back on Extra Frame at the time. Got standings in after 2. They sent it to me a while ago, so it was me the reason why they came in a little bit later. Let me take a look at Austin Grammer, your tournament leader, 215 and 216 for 431. That's really good bowling right now. Bostic, who we've been watching, bowled games of 204 and 206. Edward Herrera sits there with 195 and 167 for 366, followed by Jacob Gill at 354 in 4th. Christopher Sanders is 5th at 338. Then you got Zach Harvey in 6th at 335. 7th is Steve Ontiveros at 328. 8th, Jeremiah Yarmil at 314. Followed by Baccaccini, Young, Archuleta, Irwin, Romero, and Patterson. And always remember on YouTube, guys, and girls out there watching today, you can always pause it, screen capture it, or go back if you want to reference these scores. We also have Lane Talk live scoring. I've been saying that today. I want to check and see how Austin Grammer's bowling. He's going to have another game in the 2 teens, 214 if he makes his spare, and he'll be coming over to our live stream pairs here. And on the break, I'm gonna try to bring in Lane's 13 through 16 that we will also be able to cover for the rest of the event. So I will get that done as well. This event is being ran here locally on site, so not on Tournament Bowl. But I will display them up on the screen for you, and I will get with the tournament staff here to figure out how we want to get out the scores to you. Looks like I am seeing some emails going around. Looks like it's going to be over on tenpinsandmore.com. I'll get a link of that for you. So Bostic going to be in the 190s here. Good start. After this game will be halfway through. Glad you're watching here on Inside Bowling here today. 2026 New Mexico Open A-Squad qualifying. We got 2 qualifying squads today, 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 8 and 1, and that's Mountain Time Zone. So we decided to take 23 and 24 out of play, Mike. So I had it set up for 21 through 24 like we did last year. I've tilted lanes 21 and 22 over. And I was showing those players for a couple of different games. But right now we're just kind of concentrated here. On the break, I'm going to get another 2 pairs in play. I got to do some finagling of my cords and stuff to be able to get over there. But I should be able to. $14 players on the squad, and we'll be able to get everybody on here today. Bostic with 197. Still plus for the tournament. Players are kind of taking their time as there are some pairs with 3 and some with 2. But we're going to have our tournament leader coming up here in the next game, lane 17 and 18, Austin Grammer. Our winner from last weekend, won right here on Inside Bowling. So Andrew Romero and Austin Grammer. So Romero and Grammer, Bostic, and Sanders as we go into game number 4. I just want to take a second to just talk about how great bowling is. We see all different types of people when I live stream bowling tournaments. All different shapes, sizes. And, you know, Andrew Romero is small in stature. But I love seeing the variety of players that we get in our great game. That is one great thing about our sport. It doesn't lock anybody out from being able to compete out in the lanes. And I want to hand it to Andrew for being out here competing. And I actually think out of all the tournaments that Andrew bowls in, this might be one that would actually favor Andrew's style a little bit. Because you don't need to throw the ball hard on this pattern. Let me pop it back up on the screen again. This pattern is so hard and it's so much oil. 35 mils. You got a big stripe down the lane. And what I love about our game is we've got Austin Grammer, who won a PBA Tour title this year and won last week here. And you've just got a variety of bowlers, and I love it. And I'm sure that Andrew's going to have the time of his life bowling with Austin. Like this is cool for him. You can see Austin's he's just playing the lanes great. Let's take a look at that one again. Watch how Grammer's playing the lanes. He's actually using a little bit of, he's got a little bit of shape going on there. But just setting it right into the lane, that's how you want to do it. That's the roadmap. That's the guide. Come on, Andrew. Let's get a strike right here, buddy. Get in the pocket. Little crossover. That's a makeable. Just leaves a 6-pin. Grammer crushing him right now. Strike, spare, double. Austin making him look easy at this point. I mean, he is really a great bowler. I mean, he really has ascended into being a top 1% of 1% of all bowlers in the world. Grammer, he can play. Really good bowler. Christopher Sanders, local bowler here, telling me here in the chat. Yeah, everybody here. I mean, if you come bowl this event, it means you're fearless. Once again, 2026 New Mexico Open. We're here at Tenpins More in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. This is the 22nd edition of the event. My name is Mike Flanagan here at Inside Bowling. I want to thank Mike Fagan for having me out, the proprietor here at the center. Also bringing out Dennis Hacker to be his tournament director, as well as Rick Barbera, our special guest, Brunswick product specialist here on site, making sure everything runs smooth. Our defending champ is Dallas Leong. Players are bowling on a very high, demanding pattern here as General Manager Anthony Albrecht has the place running great, and Regional Manager Rob Ballag as well is here on hand, making sure everything is going wonderful. We've got women and seniors 55 plus receive 8 pens of handicap each game. There's $5,000 guaranteed in Smart Youth scholarships for the top youth finishers. We do have one youth bowler out there bowling today. And that youth bowler is Nico Baccaccini. Squad's at 8-1, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and we'll be back Sunday morning at 8 a.m. for Advancers round number 1. Players are moving one pair to the right after each game. I want to thank our sponsors once again: Brunswick, Shamrock Foods, Visit Rio Rancho, Kegel, Tenpins More donating the lineage here this week, and us here at Inside Bowling. Austin 2-8-10s. Let's go ahead and bring in our scores after 3 games. Austin Grammer, your leader at 645. Remember, there's an automatic berth into the finals with the high on the squad. Right now, he has that. Charles Bostic is second at 607, followed by Jacob Gill at 562. Then you've got Edward Herrera is now at 532. 531 is Zachary Harvey. That's your top 5. Christopher Sanders, Dantes Young, Steve Ontiveros, Jeremiah Yaramillo, Nico Baccaccini, Trent Irwin, Raymond Archuleta, Joseph Patterson, and Andrew Romero. Those are your top 14 currently on this 14-player squad. Those are all the scores. As you can see, a 200 game is really, really good right now, as only 3 players have bowled games 200 or better out of the 14 on the squad. There is a shift today at 1 o'clock. Talking up Jacob Gill in the chat. He's got the front 4 over on lane 15 currently. Robert Lawrence is in the house too. I don't know if you guys know who Rob Law is. Robert Lawrence was the 1992 BPAA U.S. Open champ. Austin Grammer dropping the hammer. See what I did there?
How you doing, my friend?
Thank you very much. Let's watch this pin action again here from Grammer. Just stays a little bit further to the right, doesn't get in. Leaves just the 2. Doesn't get into a mid lane hooked phase to where it just doesn't want to come off the end of the pattern. Pretty much online though. These pairs are going to be a little bit further ahead of our other pairs. It looks like Austin's probably going to wait until his next pair is ready to go before he throws it his spare. So let's go ahead and take a moment and see how the scores are next door over here on lanes 21 and 22. Jeremiah and Dantes a little bit further behind. We'll hang out here with these guys, and I'm going to step away for just a moment. Yep.
Once we get into, multiple squads, you get one for that squad and then one for overall.
Perfect.
That one might not quite make it. I don't think 22 is going to make it. Maybe. Oh, look at that. It did.
I just shared that. I shared a folder called Scores with you and said each individual. So now you've got access to that folder. Yeah, I'll save it in there as they file names were before. And then I guess at the end of this, he's going to come up with a combined file, and we'll have an individual game file for each squad and a combined file. Perfect. Starting from there. So okay, sounds good. I noticed this yesterday. What's the deal with the he works at just is it overlays? Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. I noticed something in the overlay. Is that unique for Apple computers or no? They come free.
All right, everybody, as we move into game number 5, Mike back with you here, just setting up some stuff for our next squad coming up a little bit later here today and checking with a few things with the tournament staff. Glad you're with us here for the 2026 New Mexico Open. I am going to slide over to lane 17 through 20. Andrew Romero and Austin Grammer back with us, and we got some new players going to be rolling in here as well. Austin Grammer is our tournament leader. I've got a live scoring link posted and pinned here in the chat, so if you want to see where people are, how they're bowling, you can check that out on a live scoring link provided by our friends at Lane Talk. I didn't see that. Austin Grammer, our tournament leader here. Christopher Sanders is bowling and had a question for me about a replay. I want to see if I can maybe get that for him. Okay, we had an instance where a pin fell, and Christopher Sanchez, or Sanders, excuse me, not Sanchez, geez. Christopher Sanders let us know that he didn't think that it had fell, and it fell, and so he bowled the next frame, not knowing what to do, and asked me if I had a replay, and I actually did have it. And now Dennis Hacker is going to take care of that. I believe he's going to bowl a provisional for that frame at the end of the game, and at 9, whatever he does for that 5-pin will come into play. Got Zach Harvey and Nico Beccaccini and Jacob Gill back. We started with these guys in game number 1. Back to my emails. Get you an update after game number 4 here. All right, I got scores after 4. We'll slide them in. After 4 games, Austin Grammer, 859. Look at that, 215, 216, 214, 214. Doesn't get more consistent than that, does it? What was your low game today? 214. What was your high game today? 216. I mean, that's incredible bowling right there, consistency. Jacob Gill with 176, 178, comes back with 208, 247, gets to 809. Charles Bostic now 3rd after that 159 game, drops to 3rd at 766. You got Edward Herrera in 4th at 699, then Zachary Harvey in 5th at 679. Christopher Sanders 6th at 654. And those are after 4 games, followed by Young, Irwin, Archuleta, Ontiveros, Yaramillo, Beccaccini, and Patterson and Romero. Again, 6 qualifying squads in total over 3 days, 8 and 1 each day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now Grammer with a 3-bagger. Makes up for a couple of opens to start out the game. How many youth bowlers are in the tournament? We have one right now. 5,000 in guaranteed smart money for the youth bowlers in this event.
Is there any way you can replay what just happened? No, I had a 2-8-10. But I don't think anything hit it. Oh. I had a 2-8-10. So that's the first shot. The ghost of Normandy.
The ball hit it.
The ball.
The ball went back and came up. I don't think that counts then. Does it?
I've had a few questions on the falling of the pins here. Bostic picked the 2-8-10 over on the right side of the screen. You can go back and you can take a look at that. See if I can get it up here. The replay on this machine is pretty finicky if I don't get it in the last 30 seconds. Just FYI. It's actually just making an adjustment to it. Grammer's going to bowl his low game in the tournament. 214 was his low game before that. 216 was his high game. But all games over 200 guaranteed. Got Bostic over here looking to get in the 2-0s. 2-0-0. All right, we'll watch him shoot this again. 2-8-10. Second time throwing it 2-8-10. He made it in the ninth. Got to get at least one there, Charles. Alex, not sure on the total unique entries. I haven't seen the complete squad list yet, but I think it's up over 80. Finishing up game 5 here. Again, we're back at 1 o'clock today with B Squad. It is 10 o'clock. Yeah, there are re-entries in this tournament. I see a question here in the chat. Nice spare there for Nico. So Zach Harvey here, if he can convert to 210, can get to 157, 140 from Nico Paccaccini. Jacob Gill can still bowl 186. Tournament leader Austin Grammer is already in game 6. No idea what just happened there. Gill's ball just not hooking. And actually head over to 21 and 22. Austin Grammer, who's had the best look out of everybody here, has just big forward over on lane 21. Remember, the high bowler on this squad gets an automatic berth into the Sunday finals. Automatic berth. So Austin here is definitely going to punch his ticket into the Sunday finals. Now, if he gets any buys or not is based off of all squads combined on whether or not he will receive any buys for his efforts here. And we won't know that until Saturday afternoon. Austin's one of those people to where he might see, scores come in higher, and he may want to re-enter to grab those buys. Who knows? But right now, he's going to be the king of the 2026 New Mexico Open after at least one squad of qualifying. All games over 200. Spare for Austin. So he can still bowl 219, which would be his high game of the event. He's bowled every game over 200 if you're just tuning in. Our oil pattern, also, just to let you know, is very, very demanding. It's a big, giant stripe of 2-2s on this pattern. From 22 to 32 feet. And the machine travels at a very low speed at 18. 10 being the slowest. These guys are actually in game 6 now. Whoops, I was going to bring you guys up the pattern. There we go. 47 feet in length, 1.89 to 1. 46 feet on the drop brush. 35.15 milliliters of oil. Using current oil. And as you can see, entry number 9 on the forward loads data, those 4 2-2s. From 22 to 32 feet is what makes this pattern just so difficult. There you go, Andrew. How about that double? Nice shot, Andrew. Andrew's ready to bowl another 4 or 5 games. Ready to go. Can Grammer double to keep all games over 200? There's the first one. Pretty impressive to bowl all games over 200. Nice shot, Andrew. Coming back with another one. You gotta love Austin Grammer. He's such a good dude. I mean, crossing with Austin's great. He's so nice, but he's also gonna show you the way to the pocket. Grammer, if he can double here, he'll have every game over 200. Come on, Austin, do it. Yes, sir. How about that? That's really cool. That is really cool. And a nice finish for Andrew Romero. Nice bowling, Andrew. How about that? 153. Grammer finishes with 1270. Nice bowling, Austin. That is outstanding bowling, sir. Every game over 200. Game 6 underway over here. We got Nico and Zach and Jacob, Trent, Raymond, and Edward. Standings after 5 are in. Saw Grammer with 215, 216, 214, 214, 203. And then he finished with 208 his last game. Got him to 1270. Jacob Gill is second at 972. Third is Charles Bostic at 953, followed by Dantes Young at 849. Your top 5, Edward Herrera at 847, followed by 6, Christopher Sanders, 7, Zachary Harvey, 8th, Steve Ontiveros, 9th, Trent Irwin, 10, Raymond Archuleta, 11th, Jeremiah Yaramillo, and then 12th is Nico Baccaccini, and 13th is Joseph Patterson, and Andrew Romero was 14th. But his last game, he bowled his best game and doubled in the 10th to get into the 150s. Nice way to grind out there, Andrew. Zach Harvey with 825 coming into this game. Spare, strike, spare, spare, double. How about that? Kind of giving it the high hard one right now. This is definitely another way to attack this pattern. Let's go ahead and watch his last shot again. Watch this. This is just the high hard one with a little bit of a break. That one looked good too for Jacob. All right, Zach, let's see if you can make it a 4-bagger. Got 9. You're really not going to hang out with me for the weekend on this network and chill and watch some great bowling? John in the chat, you're not going to hang out? You're out? See you in 2 weeks in Iowa, bud. Archuleta yet to strike. Irwin yet to strike. Herrera yet to strike. That's tough sledding. Zach Harvey misses the spare, bowls 202, but a 200 game nonetheless. A little pat on the back. Nico can bowl 174. Austin Grammer leads the squad, already done. Finish on lanes 21 and 22. 70 over on the squad is going to lead. Just getting started. Six squads in total over 3 days. You gonna shoe up, Rob? You ready to go out and tear them up?
Lanes don't deserve my ball to be rolled down. It's just cruel and unusual punishment.
I feel like they're harder this year than last year, but we also haven't seen a bunch of heavy hitters come in yet, you know? I mean, Austin's a great player and bowled 70 over, so, I mean, that's a pretty good indication of what's out there. Not to take away from any of the other bowlers in the field here, but
The removal of urethane's adding more transition.
yeah.
Some guys aren't prepared to figure out.
Yep, no urethane allowed.
Jacob Gill was top qualifier last year on the first squad.
I remember that. Yeah, Jacob Gill. Don't forget, everybody, you got live scoring with Lane Talk. Let you know how everybody's doing. Just looking around the center here. Bostic bowled 154. Sanders had 122. Dantes Young it's going to be in the 130s. Jeremiah can still bowl 191. Joseph Patterson can bowl 156. Steve Ontiveros can bowl 204 going into the 10th frame. Nice shot there. Trent Irwin with a double of his own. Archuleta solid 9. Here's our schedule for the rest of the week, everybody. Again, B squad coming up at 1 o'clock. All times are Mountain. C squad tomorrow 8 a.m. and 1. Saturday 8 and 1, and then we're back on Sunday. That schedule might change a little bit on Sunday, but right now that's what we're scheduled for Sunday. Couple hundred. I know Steve Klimpkin is bowling this afternoon at the 1 o'clock squad. I know he's on that squad for sure. Looking forward to see Coach K come in and take to the lanes this afternoon. He's a treat to watch. Really gives us a good indication of what the pattern's going to be like and scoring pace. He keeps it really simple, keeps it in front of him, doesn't make too many mistakes, makes the spares. So looking forward to seeing how Steve-O does this afternoon. Do appreciate everybody tuning in and joining us for this opening round here from the New Mexico Open. Once again, I want to thank our sponsors, Brunswick, Shamrock Foods, Visit Rio Rancho, Kegel, Tenpins More, donating the lineage here this week, and us at Inside Bowling. Don't forget, you can always save 15% over at Inside Bowling with coupon code YouTube, and that's good year-round on all of our apparel. Don't forget, we got $37 quarter zips this week over on the website as well. And one more shot, and A squad will be in the books. Again, thanks for joining us today. Again, we'll be back in about 2.5 hours with our B squad qualifying coming up here right on Inside Bowling. Austin Grammer, your leader, 70 over. Every game bowled over 200. Really impressive bowling here this morning to get things started for us. Last shot of the tournament. Let's try to get 10 and 7. New Mexico Open A squad qualifying in the books. If you would like to join us, we do have B squad coming up today, C and D tomorrow, E and F squads on Saturday. A lot of money to be had here, a lot of great sponsors, lineage donated from the bowling center, and if you're a youth bowler, a lot of scholarship money up for grabs. And don't forget, 8 pins a handicap for women and 8 pins a handicap for those that are 55 and older. So far, our entire staff here, Rick Barbera, our special guest from Brunswick, Dennis Hacker, our tournament director, Mike Fagan, proprietor, and of course, those that work here in the center each and every day, led by regional manager Rob Balog, Anthony Albrecht, our general manager. My name is Mike Flanagan. So long for now from Tenpins More here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, for the 2026 New Mexico Open 22nd edition. We'll see you later today at 1 o'clock for B squad qualifying. And until then, everybody be safe out there. We'll see you a little bit later today.